I know the hero never believes at first, but if they did, it wouldn't make a very good story. Tonight we have made a little bit of space for it, for the unspoken that needs to be said, that little ringing sound we hear in the center of ourselves, a wordless sound, a ringing of the edge of a crystal cup, become louder and louder and more sonorous, fill the room with its vibrations, till it almost brings a pain, till it is the absence of it that hurts. I'm getting ready to go on an adventure. The size and shape of it is about the most I know. The details are yet to be filled in. The one thing I'm sure of is I will tell its tale here, softly as I may, to your inquiring ears once I am returned. It will interrupt our little shared universe of our story whispered, in that as much as I might find myself capable of getting stuff together and posting a week ahead, possibly, I very much like the notion of letting the journey transform my mind. And for that transformation, transmogrification, transcendental experience, if that's what this is, to motivate the next ramble. I want to change via travel, you see. It has happened a few times before. Beijing, Rome, feet in the great sand dunes. You can't really plan to get yourself cracked open by light, I've learned in my life, but that isn't required. Even if there's nothing wrong with me or you or any of us per se. Cabin fever is taking hold. Calendar swirls, and you just know that you need to go somewhere. Shake off the dust, crawl out of the warm bedclothes, buy a ticket for a setting where you have no control. It can be a paper airplane, swift folds, thin angles. Doesn't need to fly far. Just needs to get airborne. These are the sorts of things you might think after a few weeks of isolation, ghosted by various states with destiny, with only a few cats and snowbanks to keep your secrets, chasing, as you do, after strange dreams of love. Oh, there have been dreams, Griffin. There have been dreams. Here's what I remember. There was a seller, or maybe a thief of books. In this dream realm, they were a secret currency, a magic, a gift, rarer than gold. He was in trouble. His hair was dark, but shoulder length so it obscured his face. He had a backpack. I think it was yellow. It's so worn I can't be sure. He kept it close to him as we met in a hotel lobby, or perhaps a coffee shop. The walls are almost brocade, dark red and swirled with gold. We were set back in some small corner, out of the view of most of the bustle of customers. The coffee in my wide, squat cup was a milky cappuccino, swirls similarly in foam. It was raining outside. People seemed as busy blurs around our table, their distance actually a sign of respect. You see, for I was a queen, not of everything, not of people. Maybe more of a duchess, which I think suits me better. But the rank simply was. Stream logic provides. Don't know how I knew him, but as he unzipped the backpack he held tightly between his ankles, pulled out this backpack-sized book, the binding thin enough it must have been a picture book. When he pulled it halfway out, just enough to see the title, I knew him well. He was the book thief. He had a desperate look, hungry for a story, the right story, the only thing that might feed or settle him. He wore fingerless gloves and had calloused fingertips, wounded knuckles. I knew, in fact, that we were in love, like legitimate, emotionally hamstrung, regrettably but genuinely in love. He was not, of course, the king, and as I smelled the overwhelming alcohol on his breath, I knew this was trouble for us both. Like illicit moonshine, like he had stolen the Declaration of Independence. He slid the book across the dark cherry of the cafe table. Balefully, I took it and stood up, knowing I had accepted the dream equivalent of a bomb. I had to flee to protect us all. Somehow, I stumbled out, clutching the book in a brown paper bag-colored satchel, when I came across a golden tree-looking creature, thinner than an ant, but entish, I suppose, and angry with me. I will tell him what you've done, this magical creature threatened, with a scandalized harumph. I will tell him you've been kissing me. And I knew I hadn't been kissing trees nor tree people. I felt sure of this. So I wondered why he was lying. But I also knew that as queen, this would be disruptive. Bad news. I was running with my book under my arm, worrying about the fate of the book thief as the alarm went off. If I'm honest, there's things I love, I'm grateful for and hoping for, but all of it seems like a terrible distraction, a fan dance around the loneliness, the need to be cared for, things I can't buy or find or steal or grab or emulate. What time is it where you are? For me, this is Saturday night, and as lonely as my heart feels, there is some inherent goodness about this time of day, night, / week, or calendar that could bottle a Saturday night feeling. I'd be the richest woman the world over. Of course, it's probably a result of what you'd call a good buzz. I think there's a bit of nuance to be had here. Saturday night feeling is uniquely secure. It's this moment-by-moment reassurance that you get one more sleepy morning, one more day of being a private wreck, one more day where the air can get you because you're not plating over with masks and personae and fakery. One more day to walk around with your heart unbuttoned. So I tell you what I'm telling myself. I want to take this trip with my heart's fly down. with my heart open, and advice I've been given frequently, but when I share with you, taken from dreams, many strange, yearning Saturday nights, years the anchoress of Nowheresville. Just be open to it all falling apart, to the paper airplane getting stuck in a pot of clotted cream, to being swept up in the magic of being alive. It's a hard piece of advice to take. I look back in the archives and see I've been giving it to myself for years. Just be open. That said, loneliness is a pretty elastic thing. You can go a long way with it bungee to your midsection. Then you start to feel the tautness yanking on you when you push ahead. You shrug it off till you start to wonder if it's cutting off your circulation. Then you make the big decision to jump to see if you can break the connection. But you can't, see. And all of a sudden you're snapped back to the brick wall where you started. That's how it feels. I can make such strides, I can believe such big things, do big things, see big things take shape and place around me. But when all I can do is announce it to the air, well, the bungee cord tightens. Just that I'm pulling at a brick wall that was never intended to move. Oh well, it's a long cord. It's like, how many posts do you have to make? How many festivals of rumination do you have to put on? How many burdens do you have to slog through and haul on your back before someone says, hey, you can stop. You're fine as you are. Let's say it together. Maybe we'll believe it this time. Hey, you can stop. You're fine just as you are. And you're loved without changing a single strand of hair. But it's a fun pain to bat about. Let's slip through the fingers, like separating the white from the yolk, the idea from the realities that bind it. I don't know if this is a gift or a sin. Human spirit will soldier on, will saunter on, will root through rock. We'll take a breath and rise to the surface, forcing all chaff and tailings to part as it goes. Human spirit knows no noble death. Still, it's a long, hard road to get you to join me here in Nowheresville. And in the meantime, we're both this awkward sideshow attraction of a human being attempting to get out of their own way. So I hope on this evening, as you're listening to me, you're taking from this some sense of solace that we're all in this crazy boat together. We're all reaching out and hoping that a hand reaches back. So chin up, Buttercup. Even the bad times have their song to a tuneful ear. It can be worse, and it can be better, and it'll be both of those things time and again. But that's what transformation really is. Not just stepping out a door or crossing a threshold, going across time zones, flipping back. You know you're actually changing because you go back to your old ways less, and you stay there a shorter amount of time. And in the scheme of things, life's already way too short. I'll spin around in this space of talking to you, vast and unknowable you, the collective, beautiful you, quietly listening or not to me all this time I'm yammering, until I get a clear path towards the moon, the sun, the soft space in the middle. I'm going to a river, I'm going to a mountain, I'm going to a metaphor, and I'm going to braid its bending stems into the bedding. I am not entirely without a will. There are parts of me still rise when tapped, still ooze once healed, that still remember sights and smells and sounds and tastes they ought to forget. And everything else is going on vacation. Those parts are going to work. It used to be that I always wondered what it would be like to be an adult, to have such a complicated set of circumstances through which I had to navigate myself. Now it's strange. I still have that sense of wonderment at being here, facing a wide and shifting universe, holding out my little plans and hopes, stuffing them into each hip pocket, not always getting it, but trying. End of the day, top of the night, there's value in trying, picking yourself up off the ground, silencing the voices that tell you you're dumb, and you can't, and you shouldn't, and they know better. Taking that breath I never shut up about, and moving forward. And what else is more valuable than that? Suffice to say, I hope you're doing well. We'll see if there's a post here Saturday. If not, just know I'm doing something exceedingly ridiculous somewhere in the world, and I will tell you about it very soon.